Good night, it's time for your news by the numbers. This week, Massachusetts becomes the 13th state to adopt automatic voter registration. With overwhelming bipartisan support, the Massachusetts House approved the bill 130 to 20 in June, and the state Senate passed it 2 weeks later. Under the new law, eligible citizens will be automatically registered to vote unless they opt out when they interact with the state's Registry of Motor Vehicles and healthcare systems, Mass Health. Oregon was the first state to get the ball rolling with automatic voter registration, and since then, 12 states and the District of Columbia have followed suit, with an additional 20 states have also introduced automatic voter registration proposals this year, according to the Brennan Center for Justice. This is big. This is very big. This is huge with a Y. And here's why. Voting is critical to our democracy. And there should be nothing, no hurdles, no speed bumps, no stoplights, no barricades, no blockades to voting. Here's why. Because our country does not and cannot exist without the fundamental right to vote. Our democracy depends on it. If American voters and American citizens aren't engaged in the voter process, our democracy falls apart. Automatic voter registration not only should be the law of the land, it should be enshrined in our Constitution, because our country only works when every American citizen has their say. But for far too long, we have seen people on the far right and those who want to obstruct the right to vote have their way. They've used everything from voter IDs to closing down precincts to to creating onus rules to vote. Voting should be easy, America. It should be easy. And what the state of Massachusetts has done, along with the 13 other states that joined them, has made it just like that. When you turn 18, you're automatically given the right to vote. No questions asked. Here's the funny part. I remember when I first turned 18, and I'm pretty sure my producers can tell you the same thing. You got a card in the mail from the United States Department of Defense indicating that you have been registered to join the Selective Service. Mind you, we really don't use the Selective Service anymore in the United States, and we haven't had a draft in a couple of decades. But immediately, the Department of Defense lets you know that as an American citizen, you might be called upon to defend our democracy abroad. No questions asked. You get a postcard that says, you, my friend, have been registered. But to register to vote, when I was 18, you had to go down, you had to get a voter registration application, you had to fill out all the lines, you had to make sure they were filled out correctly, you had to turn it in, and you had to wait to get your voter registration card. And then on top of that, in many states, including the state of Florida, you had to then have an ID. You had to have a driver's license to actually go vote. One of these doohickeys. Where's mine? Mine's here. There it is. Right? So, to defend our democracy, you get a card on your 18th birthday saying, oh no, in case we need you, you'll be there to defend our democracy. But to participate in our democracy, you're required to jump through leaps and hurdles and bounds. God forbid that you're a senior citizen or you're a student at your college campus, because in many states, students aren't allowed to register to vote on their college campus, even though that's where they live for 4 years of their lives and a majority of the year. America, for far too long, the right to vote has been in jeopardy for far too many Americans. We fought too hard. Too much blood has been shed for the right to vote. For us now to not have automatic voter registration for every single American, no matter how old, no matter what race, no matter what zip code. Here's what we know. Automatic voter registration in Oregon has made it so that prior to the 2016 general election, Oregon registered about 230,000 voters through the automatic system. About 36% of them turned out to vote in the election. By contrast, 80.3% of the state's total registered voters casted a ballot that November, according to the state's summary. So that means voter turnout went up almost double. Although people automatically registered to vote are less likely to show up to the polls than people who actively choose to register, many see the Oregon numbers as a success because more people turned out to vote overall. People who believe in government of all political stripes want to make it run effectively and efficiently, says Carol Rose, the executive director of the American Civil Liberties Union in Massachusetts. In this era where there is so much concern about the trust in government and the trust in the election system, it is certainly great to see bipartisan efforts to come out in Massachusetts to ensure and enshrine the right to vote for every American. Now, there will be some that will say these measures will make it easier for immigrants to vote illegally. And to them, I say, you are wrong.